Hey guys, and welcome to Aussie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Leupold LTO Tracker 2 HD. Now this is the thermal monocular, which is the latest offering from Leupold, so let's have a look at it. This is how it comes in the box. So we've got a traditional type optic cover. There's some flip up covers. We've got the manual, and then naturally the LTO Tracker 2 HD itself. So looking at it a bit closer, guys, it's very compact. It's only 5.6 inches in length, or 140 millimeters. The tube on it is 30 millimeters. Now it weighs only 7 ounces or 200 grams. We've got a bit of an increase in the actual capability of the thermal sensor in this one. It's 320 by 240, where the original LTO Tracker was 206 by 156. The display resolution on this is 390 by 390. You've got a 1.2 inch wide display, or about 30 millimeters. It's covered with Gorilla Glass, so it's supposed to be fairly tough and obviously scratch resistant. 100% waterproof as well. And we've got a 7x digital zoom on this, and they do claim 750 yard detection distance or range. I'm skeptical of that, guys. I found with the original LTO Tracker, even though they were saying quite a few hundred yards, I found it practical up to about 100 yards. So we'll certainly test this one out and see, how much better it is than the original LTO Tracker. The frame rate on this is 25 Hertz and runs off a single CR123 battery. However, the battery life is only 3 hours, okay? So that may be an issue for some people. Some people it may not. I mean, if it is, obviously just carry a spare battery with you. Now we've got an 18-degree field of view on this as well, and there's 6 color palettes. Okay, so I'll power it up, guys, but first of all, I'll just explain the 3 buttons here, okay? So we've got the power button, we've got the zoom button, and then we've got this beacon mode. Okay, so we'll just hit the right button there and it'll power up. Okay, so it's started up there and we're on the 1x zoom, okay? So you can see there it's just a square image. So if we hit the middle button and go up to 1.7, that's where I like to use it, because you can see that it just fills up the full field of view there. Now if I put my hand there, you can see there, it brings up that heat signature really well. Now we can go through the different zooms, or the powers of the zoom I should say, by simply pressing the middle button there. But we'll go back and we'll press the right hand button and we'll start going through the different modes. Okay, so we've got high black, high low green, white, black, green, and high white. Okay, now like I say, guys, there is a beacon mode on it. So basically what that does is just recalibrate the color of the thermal image, okay, when you're out. And if you've got a lot of interference, it can get rid of that, and I will explain that to you once we get out on the farm. So anyhow, on that, guys, let's get outside now and I'll run you through this LTO Tracker 2 HD in more detail. Okay, so we're just going to start off with looking at the cattle. Now, these guys are only sort of sitting around about 15 to 20 yards away, okay? Some are a little bit closer, but then we've got some more in the distance there. As you can see, it's just on the high white, and it's picking up no problem there whatsoever. Now the good thing about the LTO Tracker HD is you can actually change the heat signature sensitivity. So if we go to it and hit the far left button, which is the beacon mode, okay, what it'll do is that box will come up and zoom into the highest heat signature that it was last on. But as you can see, you look around the cattle and the heat signature is gone. Okay, now what you do is you go to the beacon mode again, then hold down the left button, and then you'll have the plus or minuses up. Okay, so then we can bring back the heat signature, okay, to the degree we want. Keep going. So as you can see, it's pretty good because there's not a lot of other interference and you can really make something stand out. Let's go through the modes. High black, high low green, white, black, green, and back to high white. Okay, so about 75 yards away, guys, we've got two rabbits here. Okay, they're just to the left of where the tree is, so let me zoom in a bit. So there's 3 by zoom, so you can clearly see them there in the grass. Let's go to 5 by zoom. They're right beside each other. And then finally, let's go to 7 by zoom. See, so you can see the two of them have moved away from each other a little bit. So naturally they'd be able to hear me speaking. But yeah, I mean, we've clearly been able to pick up a couple of rabbits. So I have heard reports of people not being able to pick things up. But the bottom line is, guys, you've got to play around with this beacon mode and, you know, get the correct sensitivity for your environment. So here I am, guys, just in the long grass about 50 yards away from the actual camera. So as you can see, the long grass does conceal me. But when I hop up, then obviously you can see the top half of me as I walk towards the camera. Okay, so here I am about 100 yards away. As you can see, the LTO Tracker is having no issue whatsoever in picking me up. So what I'll do here is I'll start to walk towards some trees so you can just see, you know, how it hides partially my heat signature there. So if this was a deer or a roo or some other decent sized animal, you'd be able to see it, you know, going through the trees. It's only if we're in long grass, then obviously that hides a heat signature completely. Now we're looking at Mrs. Aussie and Coop at 300 yards away, so we've got to increase the zoom here a bit, so let's go to 3 power. Go up to 5 power. You see there's a little bit of interference there on the track. And you can see more of Coop really walking along. So I'm just getting them to walk back and forward just so we can see what we can see basically. So yeah, you can see movement, so that's pretty impressive, but I mean, yeah, you'd be looking at it going, geez, what is that? You'd definitely have to get a lot closer there to make out, you know, what it actually is. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the LTO Tracker 2 HD. Now, it's a vast improvement over the first one, no two ways about it. I definitely recommend going for the HD version. As you can see, it picks up things a lot easier than what the original one did. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind, you know, because I've read stuff online, people have spoken to me about these and they've had no luck. They go, oh, well, I can't even pick up the heat signature on a roof 50 yards away. Well, like I've said, you know, during this review, that's where you've really got to play with that beacon mode. So just be a little bit patient with it and get the correct setting, and it does actually pick up. Now for the price, $2,000 here in Australia, $1,999. Because our Aussie dollar's pretty weak at the moment, that's the price you'll pay. However, have a look around at other equivalent thermal imaging and you will pay a lot more for it. So I think it's well priced for what it is. Nice and lightweight, and look, it does the job that they advertise for, you know, which is a game recovery tool. You're walking around, you know, trying to look for game that you've shot in the darkness there, you're easily going to be able to pick it up. Also too, if you're waiting for a different game to come in, then you're going to pick that up as well. I honestly think that this sort of thing, you know, if it was me and I was just using it for my own sort of shooting, really, I wouldn't be using it over about that sort of 100 to 200 yards absolute max. And within that distance there, you're going to pick up dogs, you're going to pick up foxes, you're going to pick up pigs, you know, especially deer, because they've got a lot more body mass. So yeah, you're definitely going to be able to do it with it. I think it's a great improvement over the previous one. I honestly do, guys. So hopefully, you know, this review's given you enough information. So if you're looking at this, you can make a firm decision on whether to buy one or not. So hope you enjoyed the review. We'll leave it at that. So till next time, we'll catch you then.